jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official, no negotiation needed. Period. You already know. The first in the building, 918. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up and supporting the channel. Because Mayweather don't want him to become the greatest of all time. Appreciate that. Shout out to Toby Bartlett, Mr. International across the pond is on deck. Salute to WCS and the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. You know what I'm saying? Talk to them, Toby. Let them know. Outside of being local, it's better to be global, baby. That's where we at with it. If you're looking at the thumbnail, we're going to get into some various topics, okay? I have to speak about the breaking news, which is unbreaking, of course, but now it's out for the public, is Tszyu, Keith Thurman. We have to address it. And you know what? I was thinking to myself, right, before I start to interact with the hottest chat in the MFing game, I said to myself, I'm not going to go through matchmaking semantics on this live stream, but I would like to know some answers. You know what I'm saying? I would like to try to figure this out without any headaches or migraines. I just have a question. We've been waiting for quite some time, right? For the ultimate news to drop, because I must go back a little bit, just a little bit, because it's very, very important to let people know this. See, last year, a lot changed the scope of this boxing game just by one fighter, one team, and that was Terence Crawford. We know all that. Due to the fact that Bud, I'm calling Bud Crawford. I don't want to get too professional because Everybody I talk to about July 29th, they get all mad, disturbed, and angry. All right? But what he was able to do July 29th is still having side effects out here in the boxing community. With that said, we all knew there was a rematch clause. But after the fight, people just didn't want to see the rematch no more. Even Errol Spence's fans didn't want to see the rematch. And we was up here saying, and I'm listening, I'm saying to myself, well, you do have a few Spence fans that want to see the rematch. They want to see part two. They want to know if it's any different at a higher weight class. I'm telling you the honest God truth. I was paying attention, and I was really tuned in. My keen sense, my antennas, all that shit. I was really paying attention to what they had to say. And me, I said, okay, they have a little bit of right to want to see part two, because a lot of them are just still, suffering through the shock value of what happened. They couldn't believe that he was going to get handled the way he did, so easily, so simple. So simple. So then they was back and forth. You had the other group of Spence fans who was out here saying, well, I don't think we want to see that because of how easy Crawford dismantled and destroyed him. They wasn't quite sure they wanted to see it go down so easily in December of 2023. I get it. I understand where they was at with it. Real talk. I was on board with helping them come to that finalization and put that out there. Say, hey, I just don't want to see this no more, because it was an easy fight for Crawford, right? So at that point in time, you have a mixture of, Spence fans. You're not hearing too much from Spence, but you have a mixture, of voices. Some are basically just letting it go. They don't want anything else to do with it. They're resigning any effort to support it. And then you had his other fans out here that was so-called showing their defiance. And along with that, they were showing their support for Errol Spence to see him get back in there 154, because they say it won't be the same. You know what I'm saying? There's no way Crawford could have went in there. He had a 100% healthy Spence. That's what their language was. I'm just repeating what they said, right? It hurts me to talk about this bullshit too, but I gotta do it, y'all. So a lot of people saying no. You had some celebrities come up here. Michael J. White come up here. You know what I'm saying? Talking about my friend. Everybody got a friend that was in the gym, but ain't nobody got video. Everybody got a friend that was in that gym. You know what I'm saying? But he said, my friend said he just wasn't ready. So the fight ended up not happening in December, along with a lot of other big news that Showtime was dissolving their relationship as a network with PBC. Okay, that hurt, because we know the financiers for that fight was Showtime. With that said, that still didn't, pretty much erase the memory. The memory was what happened July 29th. Now the question remains, what do we have left to basically hang our hat on? What is left out that can give us hope? What is out there? You know what I'm saying? Because we lost right now. We lost. See, before, we knew the fight was going to happen because, they was already in negotiations to make it happen. So we knew when 2023 rolled around, something was going to happen. We just didn't know when. But in 2024, we don't really know if something's going to happen. And the fact that we believe it was going to be somewhat remnants of 2023, 2024 doesn't give us that same, because we already had one. It was so one-sided. Now we come out with Errol Spence and his eye injury. So we're saying to ourselves, okay, we haven't heard too much from Spence. He was punching passports and shit. Somebody seen him going into the gym and all that. So we thought the rematch was going to happen at first to the mid-quarter of 2024. That's not the case. Now we're juggling the fallout of Showtime and PBC with them basically signing on with Amazon Prime for an extravagant freaking fight card to jumpstart 2024. This is what we've been waiting on once again. This is what the hope factor was, right? Then the information started coming out. Oh, PBC is set to release some information later on this week. My name is Howard Cosell, and I'll be bringing you play by play. So, yes, information started to basically disseminate. And that information came out that, first of all, let me first tell you where I was at because some people thought I was lying. Let me go bring this up. Some people thought I was lying about Ryan Garcia fighting Rolly Romero. That's after, I'm talking about he had pulled out from Devin and he went to Rolly and come to find out Rolly was up here talking about, nah, that fight ain't going to happen. And then they was talking about maybe El Rayo was going to be next and all that. And this is proof. This is my receipt that they were still trying to make that fight behind the scene, Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. This is a tweet and said, look, I was informed the deal was finalizing and it would be announced in the coming days. Obviously, that was a lie. My patience have been tested the last few weeks. I'm trying my best to be as honest and real as I can to you guys. I'll be looking forward to announcing my next fight. I'm not going to say anything until it's actually signed and delivered. I still look forward to putting on a big pay-per-view for the Zone Boxing. Have a blessed day. So he was humbled. You know what I'm saying? He was humble in a sense that he jumped the gun to let people know that him and Rolly was popping off. And someone had a change of plans. Now Rolly is supposed to be fighting Isak Cruz. Okay? That's just a little bit of messiness of the information that was being released. So we have that news. But the big news was we was waiting on the Gervonta Davis, because I've heard several outlets attach a name to Gervonta Davis that he was going to be fighting March 30th, and this is the person he's going to be fighting. People up here saying, oh, Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin, Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin. Gervonta's not even on the freaking card. We'll get back to that later. Now the main event, the headline of which I wanted to ignore. I didn't even, look, when I reported the news early in the AM, like 1 o'clock or something like that in the AM, I was leaving out hope that they can turn around and say, okay, Gervonta's fighting on the card. But, as hours went along, I said, this is sticking. This is it. We have Tszyu fighting Keith Thurman. Now, I told people I like the fight. You know what I'm saying? I like this fight. I told them earlier, but the more and more I think about it, right? It started to just irritate me a little bit. Like, I cracked the watermelon open and the surface was all nice and juicy and red. You know what I'm saying? It even tastes sweet. And then I cut a little bit through the layers. I started getting the, unsweetened watermelon and shit. The rind, it didn't taste like I wanted it to taste. This is what that fight is. It's like, initially what looked good on the surface, when you start to, get a little deeper into it, I'm like, what's the purpose of this fight? And I knew boxing had did this before. Okay, let me show you after I get back from the chat. I'm gonna show you. Boxing has did this with superstars before. Okay, boxing has did this with stars before. Boxing stars before. This ain't the first one. But let me go over here to the chat right quick. Hey, you on deck? What's good? Team Crawford all day, no doubt. You already know what it is, where we at with it. Rematch was supposed to be done by December 31st. Yes, correct. Per the contractual agreement in the rematch, with the activation of the rematch clause, which turned out to be just straight collard green spam and Vienna sausage, goddamn old milk, hot dog juice, trash. Because somebody wanted to goddamn activate the rematch clause knowing damn well they wasn't going to freaking be in the ring by December. Pugilist on deck, what's good? I think the contract doesn't end before March. So Bud can't do any fights before that. contract's expiration date. Okay, so pugilists, in all respect, when you speak of a contract expiration date, could you please provide the source to that detail that you gave? You know what I'm saying? Could you provide the detail? Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't read any details of the contract expiring in March. And so let's just say, from the time he had the 30 days he had, that'll be August, right? That'll be the end of August. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Why 7 months? Why would it expire in 7 months? You know what I'm saying? Why 7 months? Is a lucky number? So that's why I'm asking you, where did you get that fine detail from? Just let me know what's up. I just don't know where you would get that information at. Okay? So let's get back to how I believe this main event to jumpstart March, the PBC and Amazon Prime fight card. Boxing is boxing at the end of the day. But it was just so much attention given to Gervonta Davis and who he was fighting and all these names that was popping up of who he was fighting and what it would mean and this, that, and the other. And Frank Martin, all these boxers have the same behavior problem sometimes. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. They will play the game, bro. They'll put these tweets out and they'll just have us, the social media people, just scrambling like ants, just trying to figure everything out. It get to a point where you become frustrated when news come out and it's totally opposite. Tank Davis isn't on the March 30th card. We have Tszyu. We have Tszyu and Keith Thurman. Now, this is what I wanted to bring to your attention earlier. This right here, as you remember, is the Pacquiao. This is Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had fought Keith Thurman July 2019, right? And he won. In between time, he was put in recess for that title. So Yordenis Ugas went through his process, and then Manny Pacquiao, with the fallout and Errol Spence and all that, he came back and fought Yordenis Ugas. That was around 25 months, y'all. You can see right here, this is a screenshot of Manny Pacquiao freaking box rec from July 2019, and he came back in 2021. You know what I'm saying? He came back in August of 2021. That was about 25 months, if I'm not mistaken, about 25 months. And that was pretty much similar to what we're looking at right now. Now, I'm straight up. This is where I'm trying to break down the pluses and minuses. Manny Pacquiao, of course, is a different specimen. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao had already came off a win over Keith Thurman, split decision. He was also older than Keith Thurman at the time, right? I'm getting to the weirdness of this shit. So he beat Keith Thurman and went in and fought Yordenis Ugas, who Manny Pacquiao is still older than Yordenis Ugas. And he lost a unanimous decision to Ugas, okay? Now, in this scenario, what I'm talking about is that Keith Thurman, who is the older of the two, Tszyu is 29 years old. He's coming back off a 25-month layoff, but he's been beat by a guy that was much older than him previously. And I'm saying to myself, Tszyu is 29 years old. Even though I don't compare Tszyu's style to Manny Pacquiao, I still believe that Keith Thurman, of all people to step in the ring, is going to have serious problems with Tszyu. I hear people talking about he's a slow starter. Guess what? It'll be a fool to think that Tszyu is going to... What's all this slow starting shit? Are we still hanging on a freaking splintered branch over a cliff? Don't move, don't move, don't move. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's a slow starter. Oh my God. Don't move any faster than that. I'm like, we still talking about slow starters? They were saying the same shit about Crawford. Crawford is a slow starter. And Spence get right down to it. That's going to be Crawford's downfall. What happened? They came out and got it in. Gervonta Davis, a slow starter. Rolly going to be able to have success early on if you push the pace and land one of those hard shots. Nothing happened. Now they're saying Tszyu is a slow starter. So therefore, Keith Thurman may be able to have some type of advantage in the early minutes of the fight. I'm going to tell you point blank, man, my thought process of him moving up to 154 pounds and freaking facing Tszyu, who's on a tear right now, and gave a good account of himself with Mendoza, he might hand Keith Thurman his first TKO stoppage. Seriously. He might be the first one, to hand Keith Thurman his first TKO stoppage. Another question I proposed to myself was, why Keith Thurman of all people? You know what I'm saying? Why Keith Thurman? You know, a name popped in my head, Danny Garcia, but I know Danny's not in camp at 154. You know, he's supposed to be fighting Erislandy Lara up at 160. So let me take a little gander with you all to the rankings, and let's go to the 154-pound division and attempt to select some names that will be much more interesting, all right, than a Keith Thurman who's been out the ring. All right, somebody mentioned Virgil Ortiz earlier. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz would be nice for a quick turnaround. That would have spruced it up real nice. Yes, sir. 20 victories, 20 knockouts. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that would have been nice. But is Virgil ready for that? He barely got any minutes in with his last fight. So, we're talking about Tszyu. Erickson Lubin. I would have liked to see Erickson Lubin. I would have liked to see Erickson Lubin. I would have liked to see Erickson Lubin. Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? Takeshi Inoue. Something like that. You know, any one of those. He just beat Mendoza, who is ranked at 8th. But those are enough names. Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? Even Josh Kelly. Well, Josh Kelly is ranked number 1, but Erickson Lubin, Josh Kelly, Xander Zayas, Takeshi Inoue. These are all ranked opponents now that could have stepped in there with Tszyu. But they grab a Keith Thurman, right? If you go down to 147, Thurman's been out the ring over 2 years, and he's ranked number 2 in the WBA. This is Keith Thurman. Been inactive for over 2 years, y'all. And look, I'm talking about any sanctioned body. Keith Thurman is ranked number 2 in the WBA. You say, how in the hell that is freaking possible? How? But I'm not here for the how. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know that can extend a long, long ways. But I'm just letting people know that, yeah, he's ranked in the WBA. He's ranked number 2. So now he's about to, go from ranked high, number 2 in the WBA at 147 to moving up to 154, and he's fighting in a title fight in the WBO, which Keith Thurman has no. When I talk about no paperwork, Keith Thurman has no paperwork. Even when he was champion, unified, Thurman was the WBC, WBA champion. We all know who the WBO king was at the time once he moved up there. So, look, Keith Thurman, man, he has no stock in the game at 147. But he's moving up to 154 to face Tszyu in a championship fight to kickstart the PBC first card with Amazon Prime. Oh my God. I think the contract doesn't end before March. So Bud can't do anything. Toby, shout out. You know what? I just, freaking dropped the link in there in case anybody, have their thoughts. Anybody have their thoughts on this, because it's quite confusing. Till then, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about the transmission that went unheard. Crawford versus Tszyu. Let's just say the fight's going to be at 154, right? So therefore, just like it was mentioned over here, by pugilist, Casanova pugilist. That's expiration date. Let's just talk about, some expiration date, and say far-fetched, we just gonna leave that alone. Let's just say it is a freaking master lock on that motherfucker. But on the flip side, let's just say it isn't. Let's say Terence Crawford can fight Tszyu, and then he can, whoever can fight Spence. However that shit work. I don't want to get into deep, contractual semantics about it, like I said earlier. But check this out. Crawford Tszyu, since there's a medical condition going on with Spence, would have been a solid fight to jumpstart the year, especially with a new network. What I do here is the childishness is coming back in, and you have these content creators that's once again talking about Al Heyman is teaching Crawford a lesson. This was the same Crawford who was on stage at a recent fight card. This is the same Crawford that just received Performance of the Year award from PBC. And you have these childish individuals that want people to take them serious, but they over here resulting back to the same, petty, childish tactics that they was talking about when Crawford pulled out of the 2022 negotiations. They was up here saying Al Heyman's not going to do any more, negotiations. He not going to do any business. Crawford moving funny. He negotiating bad faith and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? They act like it was just a one way to get the fight done. Al Heyman don't like that. Look, how dare he ask for transparency? How this and that. They was just going back and forth, acting like Al Heyman was Crawford's father or something. You know what I'm saying? Act like he was his master. Now they're resulting back to the same behavior and saying that PBC is basically teaching Crawford a lesson, boxing him out for beating Spence. Well, if they still had love for Spence, nothing would have changed. If it was still love there, I'm not here to gauge, how much affection or how much loyalty PBC has for Spence. At one point in time, he was the golden child over there. But boxing is a business. And once they made this fight a business contractually, Terence Crawford went in there and did what the F he was supposed to do. Now, if that's the way it turned out and the results lies they made, and it's been recorded, it's certified official, nothing's going to change that, no matter how many lies they put out. It would have been good for Crawford to be able to fight Tszyu, because anyone who knows this understands that it wouldn't have been no, Crawford starts slow. Tszyu starts slow. No, they would have been talking about, I can't wait to see this fight. I like that. Now they're saying that, Crawford's being blackballed by PBC. They boxing them out. Listen, this man turns 37 years old this year. The way he looked in there last year with Spence tells me that he still has life. He still has preservation. To his physical components. His health seems to be very, very good as far as being able to maintain that weight. And also, if he chooses to move up to 154, That's late. That's less weight he has to cut, which is going to be better for him with all the training to walk around at a good weight, knowing that he doesn't have to cut that much. But my point is, like, no one can tell me that they're extremely happy about hearing Tszyu versus Keith Thurman, vice Terence Crawford versus Tszyu versus Terence Crawford. Come on, man. You can't tell me that you're congratulating the matchmakers over there like this is supposed to be the main event, the headliner, and the co-feature that we was all looking for. Stop lying, man. Stop faking it. We had enough faking go on leading up to the Spence Crawford one. Enough faking that you couldn't fake it no more. Bo Mack said it. You can't hide. You can't fake it no more. We've been there already. Sit back and let us show you how it's done. It's no more hiding, man. Y'all can fake this shit all you want like little kids. You can say that Al Heyman is boxing him out and keep him, man, that's absurd. If they want to play petty games like they tried to do in 2022, and Crawford went in there and punished this man for everything that people were saying, do you think he's going to be locked into a contract just waiting around and without Crawford being able to get back in the ring? You think their whole purpose telling Errol Spence to activate the rematch clause was to keep Crawford locked in so he couldn't fight? Both of them guys fought July 29th. If he gets around July 29th of 2024 and it's no fight, we know it won't be on Crawford's behalf that it's no fight. But in the interim, we talking about March 30. Let's do the month. Let's do the calibration. April, May, June, July. That's like 4 months, right? That's like 16 weeks. So therefore, it's ample amount of time for a fight to happen. That's saying Bud Crawford go ahead and fight March 30th from Tszyu, beat him, and then he had plenty of time to fight Spence in a rematch. Plenty of time to fight Spence in a rematch. I got Crawford all day going in there beating Tszyu. And then if they want to fight somewhere in mid-quarter, so be it. I ain't tripping. But once again, I don't want to get off the common path and prognosticate the poor behavior of Spence fans at the end of the day of them coming up here. Oh, man, see, Errol Spence has been out the ring over a year again. Oh, man, see, here we go again. Crawford, he already fought March. He coming in here to fight Spence, who been out the ring. You know what I'm saying? They want to act like they the best fans in the world. But then they start blowing snot bubbles all over the place, queefing, goddamn blowing hot air. They want some companionship from anybody who would listen. They sitting at the bar, drunk, because they trying to erase the memories of last year. And when they should be on here doing live streams to try to boost it up. All of them seems to have this Casper-type connection to PBC. All of a sudden, you have individuals that never supported Al Heyman the entire tenure they've been on the YTC. Now they want to act like it's my turn since I was able to cover a couple of fights. I love what I'm seeing over here. I really want to show that love. It's not genuine. Your support is not genuine. I know. I see it. I got it. None of y'all was up here supporting Al Heyman like this, when Crawford and Spence were trying to fight. None of y'all. You know what I'm saying? The only ones was the pro Spence fans that was out there. Some of you new niggas that's on here after the fight is over with, and you see this Keith Thurman type situation going on with Tszyu, you frown upon fights like this. This is not something you want to see. It's a good two names, but come on, let's be real with each other. This is not what you want to see. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing on Deck. What's good? What's good? Shout out to AU, man. Big salute to the Detroit boxing footprint out there. Salute to you, man. Tszyu knows Bud contract ain't in yet, and he took Thurman fight immediately because we know why. Tszyu ain't jumping in with no Bud right away. Well, I have to say that, you know, Tszyu made it seem like pugilist that he was interested in fighting Bud Crawford. That's what his tongue and lips together was basically expressing to the outer layer of the listeners, you know, the recipients. That seems like that's where he was at there, pugilist. He was giving us the indication that he wanted to fight Bud Crawford. Should we take him at his word? It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Shout out to Javier. He said, this is Keith's severance package, Al Heyman style. I like that. He said he giving the severance package. I wonder what that severance package is, though. And you know, a big part of my thought process, I can't go against the grain with you on that. This may, in fact, be Keith Thurman's severance package, y'all. But check this out. Let's not act like what's on the screen is not a higher expectation when it comes to boxing. Why all of a sudden, you know, when it comes to Tszyu, y'all giving him all these exemptions, you know what I'm saying, passes, you know, it's no criticism. He can fight who he wants. Yeah, he can fight who he wants. It don't matter. No, why not put Crawford back in there at a higher division to fight for his 4th divisional championship? Because y'all hating. Oh, that's all it is. Y'all strictly want to come up here and hate, man. That's all, man. That's all of it, bro. Y'all haven't got through the setback. You know what I'm saying? Y'all haven't got through the setback. That shit has been riding y'all like a motherfucking baboon. Y'all haven't got through the setback. That's all. And then y'all still want to, you know, hate on Terence because he went in there and gave you what you would look for in a competition, in one fighter challenging the other. He gave you what you was looking for. He was on all cylinders. Decimation, destructions. You know what I'm saying? High energy. He displayed a ballsy style of aggression. You know what I'm saying? High energy. Those in attendance and the commentary, they couldn't do anything but give this man his credit. Real talk. They couldn't do nothing but give him his credit as he fought all the way to the finish for the ultimate prize of being 2-time undisputed, the first male boxer ever to do it in the 4-belt era. You know what I'm saying? That shit is freaking impressive. So impressive, it would have looked real nice to see his name come out with this big news to make people sick. It would have been good to see Tszyu versus Terence Crawford. Tszyu gets the opportunity to defend his WBO title against another WBO legend in Terence Bud Crawford. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to take too much elongated freaking expression. I don't want to be up here exhausted trying to get y'all on deck, but god damn it, I love it. Shout out to Carlos Rosado on deck, man. What it do, brother? Shout out the band on deck. He said, what up, WCS in the hottest chat? As Super Champ, can't Bud petition for the WBO mandatory 154. And if PBC don't want to pay, let it go to purse bid. See, the only thing with that, and great point, man. Great point, bro. I like that. Great point. The only discrepancy that I see in their band is the fact that he may and is locked up contractually for Spence. Just like someone said earlier. You know what I'm saying? He contractually locked in with Spence. So this is what I was mentioning earlier, right? I mentioned this in an earlier live in 2022. Why Bud, you know what I'm saying? Why Bud was never going to be in a contract with PBC because they didn't want him to be in a contract with for him to fight in 2022. They wanted him to get in a contract just to lock him in, and then when they get around for him to fight Errol Spence, he could do it, and also pennies that they was fighting for. That's all. But they couldn't meet Crawford's request, and that was for them to fight that year. They was trying to pretend like they wanted to, but they never had any intentions. And the good part about Crawford walking away, like I mentioned, was the fact that he wasn't locked in like he is now. He's locked in now, so he probably couldn't petition as the WBO for him to fight because he's locked in to a guy who activated his rematch clause with a pre-existing eye impairment, and now he's doing the same thing that Crawford was able to avoid in 2022. The exact same shit would have happened. He would have been waiting on Errol Spence to get his shit together. He wouldn't been able to go to his hometown and have a fight and get paid millions for that fight with David Avanesian. He just would have been sitting on his hands all the way to 23. But this, coming back around, right? The rotation is a mother sometime. And coming back in full rotation, he's locked into a contract. So regardless of where he's at with the belts, because we all know what shiesty, underhanded shit IBF did, he still's the unified champion in 147. He hasn't vacated another title like Jermell Charlo did. Jermell Charlo quickly got off the IBF title. You know what I'm saying? Once they stripped him and Tim Tszyu picked up the WBO, he quickly vacated that IBF so he wouldn't have to fight the Mandy. So it would be good if he's able to put in that paperwork. But my assumption is that per the contract, for a guy who had activated his 30-day, rematch to fight Terence Crawford with a pre-existing eye injury, you already know what doo-doo smell like. It stinks from afar, goddammit. I'm not going to lie to you. If you had an eye injury, you should have let the shit go, and Crawford probably would have been the name that's up there fighting Tim Tszyu coming up March 30th. I almost guarantee it, bro. If he had anything to do with it, if Spence would have said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to let this ride. No, he locked him in knowing damn well he wasn't fighting the rest of the year in 23. He knew it. Then to prolong it even more and to have Crawford sitting on his hands, he says he went in there and got his eye medically checked and examined because the cataracts was just too bad for him. This is a condition, y'all, that you should hold him accountable for, that he already knew about, supposedly heading into July 29th, and didn't take any action. Once he was out the ring and healing up from Crawford, he still didn't go there. From July 30th all the way to December 31st, he still didn't think about going to the doctor, knowing that he had a rematch clause that he activated with Crawford. It's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up. Real talk. You want to, we want to look at it like it wasn't designed. That play wasn't designed. But you say to yourself, damn, bro, you knew you had activated the rematch clause. If you wasn't able to meet the time window, let this shit go so this man can go on about his fucking business. But I think with Spence, this is his outlet. Spence believes that the paycheck is going to be well worth the wait. So he's going to be selfish and say, you know what I'm saying? I get through what I got to get through. And once again, people got to wait on him. He didn't have his way in 22. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to have his way in 24. And when it comes back around, when a date pop up about him and Crawford, it's probably going to be mid-year because he has to get cleared after his eyes is, healed and everything. And then everything else has to take place with negotiation and stuff. I'm telling you all, 154 is not going to change the fate. I think this time around, I know fighters that went in there and got knocked out and came back and had a much better performance the second time around. I know. But I'm saying even with persons with cataracts on both of the eyes, right? And they have surgery and they're able to see better vision, they still can't see Spence winning in the rematch. They can say, my vision is great. But I'm going to tell you, every time I think about who's going to win the rematch, I can't see Errol Spence winning. And I'm in the same boat, man. I don't see him winning, you know what I'm saying, with cataract surgery, since that's an excuse that he's using for the jabs and the hooks. Cataracts or no cataracts, Bud was going to whoop Errol's ass. Talk that. Ish to him, there was Carlos. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him rest. I like how, if you're riding for a fighter, ride for a fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? If you ride for a fighter, ride with him. But don't act like you abandon him in a little bit of time after the fight due to the amount of damage that was inflicted on him. Don't act like you abandoned him when he needed you most. And then don't act like Spence give a damn about y'all. Any fighter who supposedly had these cats out here, for him, saying that this couldn't happen, that couldn't happen, no way Crawford would do this and that. It just wasn't possible. There's no way any fighter really fuck with his fan to go on live with an eye patch and don't explain to his fans why he got an eye patch. You speak English any other time. You did a whole post-fight interview, but you're going to get on there and don't let these clowns know when you're returning to the ring? I mean, you could at least told them that, hey, I had to get this shit checked out. I know it looks bad on me. I enacted a rematch clause knowing damn well I wouldn't jump in the ring with Crawford in 23. So I'm just letting my fans know I'll be back. Thank you so very much for your support. No, he don't care. So that's why those Pharaoh fans be out here running amok and talking about Bud Crawford all the time. You know what I'm saying? They don't care, man. They want to act like they care about Spence, but yet they really care about Bud. They want to just continue to talk about him because, it's going to draw in attention. But the algorithm has somewhat changed. You know what I'm saying? The temperature has changed. When they bring their ass over here, it's not as all, you got all that good high energy from these haters. It's not that way no more. They slowly tiptoe their ass in the building. I got to be careful about what I'm going to say because motherfuckers ain't going to believe it no more. Well, this is what I got to say about Bud. He did win the fight, but I can't give him even 50% credit because hold up. Let me go back to the freaking comments and see if anybody been talking about this yet. All right, good. Somebody mentioned weight drain. Let me see. Weight drain. Oh, somebody mentioned cataracts. Good. Yeah, like I was saying, I don't give him 50% of beating Errol Spence because Errol Spence was weight drained with cataracts. If he weight drained, the cataracts don't get that much worse because they need some hydration too. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm just saying, y'all. The fact Bud got stripped for no reason is just more fuel to his fire and gonna get real active on his next opponent. From what it looked like, when you just dumbing it down, is that Bud may not be able to fight another opponent outside of Errol Spence until that is fulfilled. And like that person mentioned earlier in the chat, I don't know the expiration details. I don't know what the restrictions are. I don't know, man. I would like to know, but I don't know. I would definitely like to know what is the freaking contractual details about how long if Errol Spence has all this medical shit, bullshit him goddamn waiting the whole year out the ring because Errol Spence can't jump back in there. So I'm pretty sure it's something in the contract. I hope it is. I hope it is, because if it's nothing in the contract about Crawford being able to fight another opponent since Errol Spence's then activated the rematch, then that's fucked up. Once again, that's fucked up. And then you have, the whole entire circus up here, jumping through a ring of fire and saying, yeah, we love it. Well, if you love that Crawford is locked into a contract and can't fight nobody, if that is indeed the case, why are you even covering boxing? Because you're not going to see the part 2 that you want. You're going to have to look at everybody else, and you're going to be in limbo just like we were in 2022. 23. We're going to be in limbo waiting for this shit to happen. But I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is on a holding pattern, and we're waiting for any news to break. Either way it goes, just like Carlos said, you keep on fucking with him, he's going to come back in there, and maybe, just maybe, Spence at a higher weight class, you know what I'm saying, with all the Pedialyte he can have. Hey, I'm going to send a care package to Texas. I'm going to have it nothing but Pedialyte up in that motherfucker. And I'm going to give perfect instructions. I'm going to say, whoever's opened this goddamn box, this is strictly for Errol Spence. We want him to be hydrated and be able to lose weight. Here go every flavor of Pedialyte and a flavor that you ain't never seen on the shelf before. It got some of that hen dog in it. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't guzzle that down. You know what I'm saying? That's it, addition. But I'm going to send him some freaking Pedialyte up there. I want that man to be hydrated so his fans won't go up here move and sounding stupid. No more excuses, goddammit. We're done with it. Cataracts, weight drain, neurological issues, and he ate bad fish the night before is why he lost the bud. But let's remind people, this is the same person. Let's remind people, that Carlos, we got to remind them that at one point in time, they was, even myself, I was commending Errol Spence. I don't compliment him much, but I was commending him because he said, I was brought up where men don't make excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. I believed him. And then I said to myself, Carlos, I said, well, did he say that in this moment when his pops was right there? Because he'd still be a little loopy. He wouldn't be absolutely stable. His blood pressure was still high. Well, in that case, low, because he did lose some blood. I ain't gonna lie. His blood pressure probably low as shit. But I'm saying to myself, did he make this statement when he was still in the ring, and somebody just happened to get it on audio and put it into a thumbnail? Because he said, I was brought up where men don't make excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. He said he wouldn't give it to us, bro. Errol Spence, said that he wouldn't give it to us. Errol Spence said that he wouldn't give us an excuse. That's what he said, y'all. I took him for his word. He said that he wouldn't give it to us. A lot of us believe that he wouldn't give it to us. Seriously. I'm saying to myself, this man ain't came out with an excuse yet. You know what I'm saying? He ain't came out with an excuse. I respected that shit. I respected it. A lot of other people respected it. But unfortunately, the results determine that was a lie. The results determined that was a lie, people. And why it was a lie? Because Errol Spence came out and started dropping excuses. He started dropping excuses. All of the jabs and hooks that Crawford was able to land successfully in the fight was because he had cataracts. Just when I was giving this nigga some compliments, just when I was trying my best to give this man some credit and remind myself, you too, WCS, is the same shade as Spence. Treat that black man with some goddamn courtesy, okay? People told me, man, you're too hard on goddamn Spence. You're too critical. And I said, I don't see where y'all at with this. I don't see how y'all can say I'm too critical of the guy, because pretty much, what I was saying about him, they wasn't made up. He's the one that said I was brought up where men don't make excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. That's supposed to sit with somebody, because that's dealing with integrity. That man went in there and lost the fight in such a real bad way. He lost it. He lost it. But that ain't the only time he made an excuse, y'all. I can go into the goddamn, archives and goddamn punch in my code, and I can bring up this one too. Been fighting it this way for over a decade. This shit ain't easy or fun. That was an excuse to that right there was another excuse. The reason why I'm saying that is he was basically telling the people, because he was up in weight, that he'd been in this division for a long time. You know why I put that up there? Because Crawford said it. When I beat him, they're going to say he was weight drained. He'd been in the division too long. And what did he say? That tweet was way after him and Crawford met up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Am I right or wrong, man? Let me know, man. Does that sound like a preparatory excuse? Now those of you that may not know what preparatory is, it's before. You know what I'm saying? Preparatory excuse. Does that not seem like a preparatory excuse for him? Absolutely it does, man. Preparatory excuse. It sucks. Real talk. It sucks. Maybe in a different lifetime, man, I'll drop the link again for those who have something they might want to say. But I'm just disappointed that, Crawford's name is not up there. To give Spence to give Tszyu a very good competitive challenge in defense of his title. It would have been good to see it. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It would have been good to see it. It would have been real good to see it. It's something else to talk about when it comes to Spence Crawford. Because 8 weeks, if you don't pay attention, it might go a little bit fast or whatever. I don't know, but it would have been good if that 8 weeks was in 2023. Real talk. It would have been good. If that shit was in 2023, it would have been solid. It would have been nice. Because then we can say, okay, us being in 24, this where I'm at with it. If let me see who you are. Yeah, who's this backstage?
That's me, Scotty. It's Mr. Golden.
What's going on, Golden, man? You keep changing your You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, MAG. Yeah, that's initials for my name. I
What's what's
apologize.
what's good,
What's
OG?
going
How
on,
you
Doc?
feeling, man?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I can't complain. Look at man, I'm kind of confused about something now. I saw them last night. I see they announced Tszyu and Keith Thurman fight that was then. Then later on, I seen that they had Rolly and Ryan fight was okay. Now they talk about Ryan and Pitbull. Now what's going on?
No, it's not gonna be Ryan and Pitbull. It's gonna be Rolly.
I'm saying Rolly and Pitbull.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rolly and Pitbull because like I put up there earlier. Somehow Ryan Garcia had put out this tweet that he felt that him and what he was told by his promotion that he was gonna be next in line to fight Rolly and the fight was still on. And then he said right here, obviously that was a lie. So I guess they told him, internally that the fight was going to be locked in. Come to find out, Rolly's fighting freaking Esau Cruz, which makes a little sense because Rolly was on camera, talking that the fight was off with Ryan Garcia. So now we get some official news that they're going to be the co-feature. You know what I'm saying?
So did a co-feature for the Keith Thurman fight?
Yes, sir. Rolly Romero. You know what I'm saying, OG? How the hell you ever could have fathomed Rolly Romero? Rolly, dog. The man who was all over the canvas. Tony Weeks saved his ass. He is the co-feature, dog. Oh my God.
I call it a little yellow boss man.
Oh my God. You ain't lying, man. Like, just think about that in boxing.
I,
No one is really criticizing Rolly, man, for doing what he doing and performing the way he do. But he's the co-feature, and people up here to my good job, Al Heyman.
man, this is some garbage, man. And the Tszyu and Keith Thurman, I think this is another thing to throw a wrench in Bud. That's the way I feel about it. Because I don't think the Earl Spence fight happen anytime soon. They're just trying to hold Bud. I don't know. And
So,
and, and
so
how
you
the
think
heck?
they just trying to hold you trying to you saying they trying to just keep Bud in the holding pattern
Right.
and just whenever Spence get around to it, then that's when they'll fight.
That's when they'll fight. Because when at first everybody was talking about about Tszyu and Bud for the longest. Then when Bernie came out and said Bud looking at that fight, going with it, then
Mm-hmm.
here all of a sudden we thinking them two for the fight. Boom, out the blue, here gonna Keith Thurman. Ain't nobody heard from Keith Thurman in about 6, 7 months, ain't it? We ain't heard a word out of Keith.
Correct. He's been silent.
He been
He's been
solid.
silent. Super silent, man.
Yeah, because me and Cam was talking on the phone. I asked Cam the other day. I said, man, nobody ain't heard nothing from Keith, man. When the heck Keith at? Now, all of a sudden, Keith pop up with a fight,
With a fight. We haven't
man.
seen him on Fight Hype. We ain't seen Keith Thurman nowhere, bro. We haven't seen Keith Thurman nowhere. And all of a sudden, he's on the freaking main event. Now, I did put up there, OG. I put up there freaking Manny Pacquiao and Yardenas Ugas. Manny
Right.
had went into recess with the title after beating Keith
Mm-hmm.
Thurman, and he didn't. He didn't even be put in recess for the right reasons because he wasn't injured, and it wasn't something outside the control of anybody, like the pandemic and shit. So
Right.
he came back and fought Yardenas Ugas, and he was out
Right.
25 months.
Yeah. They make it so bad. Now that situation there, I think that was rigged up. I,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that was rigged up. I don't think Earl had got no eye injury. He just didn't got like I tell you about it, they try to get um Pac-Man that belt back, but
Correct.
they
So he
never
can,
give Pac-Man that
yeah,
belt back.
correct.
So he pulled out that fight. You feel what I'm saying? He pulled out that fight until he got an eye injury, and then Uga stepped in 2 weeks notice. Come on, man, that's bullcrap. You know
They
that
really wanted Pacquiao Errol Spence because they felt like that'll do pretty decent numbers. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's a much bigger draw
Mm-hmm.
than freaking Yardenas Ugas and Pacquiao. They wanted Errol Spence in there with Pac.
What they talk about one time, if they would have fought, they were gonna have a linear championship on that too.
When who fought?
If Pac-Man and Earl were fought, they're gonna fight for the linear belt too. So that fight would have took place. The runner would have
You
been.
know, it's possible. It's possible. Anything, you know what I'm saying? It's possible. Whatever they would have tried to do. I know they was trying to just build up and maximize their leverage with Spence at the time. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted him to face Pacquiao to build up his leverage when him and Crawford finally fought. You know what I'm saying? They wanted that to be the the grand finale. And in a sense it was, but it was weird because you know what happened with all the concessions. Like
Right.
Bud got a coin toss and then he was able to do this, and then it was on record that Spence said he gave Bud Crawford the $1 million that they betted already. It was just a lot of weird shit in there, man.
Right. Because first of
Damn.
all, he said that he gave Bud so much money, so he called off the bet. That money that you had that you give Bud, that ain't had nothing to do with the bet. The bet was totally different.
Yeah, he okay. I'm just including the bet because the bet was basically in contention, and that whoever won that fight, they made a bet outside of the results of the fight. But
Right.
he included that million in the negotiation process without them even throwing a punch. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence included that $1 million into a concession for Bud Crawford, and the fight wasn't even done yet.
So
The whole
so in
bet.
other,
Go ahead.
so in other words, he went hit on a pig but other $1 million because he knew he was gonna get his ass whooped.
If that was the case, man, you know what I'm saying? in raw terms, hey, that's what it is, man.
That's what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and pay your $1 million now. Put it in the contract. You got your $1 million. I know you're gonna beat my ass, and that's it.
Yeah, it was almost like a copay, huh?
Yeah. Go
That nigga
payment.
paid that copay and shit.
But
So I'm just gonna get this over with, dog. So we won't have to talk about it. I'm gonna give you this million, man. I'm gonna put it in the contract.
man, but that would have been real fucked up. The man beat your ass, or he beat your ass, then you turn around and had to pay him $1 million for beating your ass like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
He
But
he
let's keep
said,
mm-hmm.
go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying, I've gone back to Keith Thurman bullshit. I don't know this. I don't know what to say about this here. But I heard the WBO not sanctioning the fight.
How are they not sanction the fight?
Oh man, the WBO said they not sanction the fight. It's at a catchweight for 155.
Oh,
It came out.
That's just another. That's just another poor example of all this bullshit that's going on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, why would the WBO not sanction a fight just because it's at a catch weight? Keith Thurman, why is Keith Thurman even in the equation for Tszyu not to basically defend his title? So let's just say he ain't defending his title. The title ain't on the line. So
Right.
Tszyu can lose and still fight Terence.
Yes, he can still fight that. Because I heard somebody saying something about they saying that they don't want to sanction the fight because Keith is not active enough. He don't deserve the WBO. He don't deserve that title fight. So they're making a fight at they're fighting at 155. So they're not sanctioning the fight. They're doing the catchweight.
I mean, that's good to go, but that's why I haven't really put a lot of interest in this fight. I didn't know that, bro. To be honest, I haven't even really dug into it. I said, man, I'm not feeling this fight anymore. At first, I was to be positive, but I'm not really feeling it. And then now it's about to be a 10-round fight,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the same shit we seen with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Now I can understand with the Francis Ngannou being 0-0, but Keith
Right.
Thurman, the former unified champion at 147.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is the crazy part too about OG. Check this out. Came back and fought Yordenis Ugas. He was out
Mm-hmm.
25 months.
Yep.
Why is that? Why is this all of a sudden? Because they got some more shit lined up and Keith ain't a part of it.
Thank you. We've been saying for the longer that AI them old Keith, the Keith give up that belt. Your old Keith a
Yeah.
big fight.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So now they're getting Keith out the way. Now they go ahead and do something else. But all of them, I'm gonna be honest with you, Boss is really getting boring to me because they got so much bullshit coming up, man. I'm not used to this bullshit.
Oh, stay positive, dog. Don't rip in the boxing. You know what I'm saying? And we still in limbo about this fight card. You know what I'm saying? That makes it even worse. I didn't know that it was, at a catch weight. Now that makes it even
Yeah.
worse. It's
So
not
who,
a it's a non-title fight now for the main event, and you have a goddamn circus clown in the co-main
yeah,
event.
they got you got, you got a little yellow bus man in a co-main event. That's some
Man,
shit,
how is
man.
that possible, dog? Come on, man. Come on, stop it, man. How I can't get over that shit, man. How is Rolly, man? Come on, man.
Really, boy, I can't wait to the press conference for this shit. Yeah, I don't know who gonna talk more shit, him or Keith.
No, you got Keith ain't fighting Rolly.
No, no, I'm just saying. I know he ain't fight Rolly, but when
Oh,
Keith gonna talk some shit. Then Rolly gonna talk some shit. Man, this gonna be
yeah,
a funny ass press conference here.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be funny. So, them the only two fights they announced so far on the card.
From what I've seen, from what I've seen,
Man, this gonna be some crazy shit here.
you know what I'm saying. From
Boy,
what I've seen, like these probably the only two fights, the co-feature and the headliner that people wanted to know because they've been riding the Gervonta Davis name a lot.
right?
Wishing that it would be Frank Martin. It's not Frank Martin, so that kind of sizzled. Put the fire out a little bit. And then we
Yeah,
was just waiting who was gonna step in. Now we get this a non-title fight, 10 rounder.
yeah.
Keith
Cause I
Thurman.
just got my next question. I was gonna ask you what happened to the Frank Martin and Tank fight. This would be on the 29th or 30th. They said they're gonna be the first one to come on a pay per view for them. So what
Right.
happened with that?
And they get ambitious when they want to lie to us, the consumers, man. They don't give a fuck, man. They puppetize the shit out of us. You know what I'm saying? It was so many rumors going round and round and round on the carousel, dog. That pretty much the conversation was Gervonta fighting somebody, and one of
Yeah,
those names was Frank Martin.
right,
If Frank Martin, like I said this before, I don't feel it's common sense for Frank Martin to fight Gervonta and he don't have a title yet.
right.
Because the IBF is vacant, and I believe the WBO is vacant at lightweight. You got Gervonta at WBA, and you got Shakur Stevens at WBC, and I think
Right.
Kambosos and Lomachenko is about to fight for the IBF. But besides that, we're
Hold on,
not
hold on.
sitting.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. I'm thinking about Theo. When you said Kambosos and Lomachenko, yeah,
Yeah, I believe they're fighting for the IBF, and then you know Frank Martin haven't earned the championship yet. So why send him in there with Tank for sacrifice? Why the rush? The dude is already going. If he ain't 30 already, he 29 or something like that. Why send him in there with Tank?
I don't think he's ready for that type of fight. This want to be his 16 fight. He want to fight 15.
Hey, they fast tracking him, man. He in the ranking systems, right? So when you get put in the
Yeah,
rankings, and plus you got Errol Spence, man down promotions. I
yeah,
would think they would give him some of what they gave Roller Romero. Roller Romero was gifted in Connecticut when he lost to Jackson Mariñez, but they gave him the win. And
yeah,
also when he was knocked out by Gervonta, he moved up to 140 and they automatically gave him a title shot and
yeah.
robbed Barroso.
Robin. And then
Robbed
the
his
one
ass.
time I heard that they had mandatory for him and Barroso to fight again, didn't they?
Okay,
After after
so
Barroso knocked my mind out, they was
yeah.
talking one time that him and Rolly supposed to have a rematch.
So it is some validity to that. Like, okay, if Barroso is the interim, right?
Hmm.
They might try to make that fight in the future, but that's not something that's guaranteed. Barroso, people was looking at it like, okay, Barroso won the interim the interim WBA. That
Mm-hmm.
don't mean anything
Nope.
because shit, he can fight somebody else, man. I mean, man, he can fight somebody else, man. I'm talking about they brought him this far. They put Tony Weeks in there, helped him out with Barroso to win the title. Now he's calling himself a world champion. And he's about to go in here and let's see what happened with him and Isak Cruz, man.
Oh yeah, but you know what? No, yeah. Come to think about it, Tony Weeks was in both of his fights, wasn't he? Wasn't he in Barroso last fight and stopped the fight? No, 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 no,
Excuse
no.
me?
That was no, that was Jermaine, the other Ortiz fight. He just stopped the fight early. Tony Weeks.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
Virgil Ortiz fight.
Yeah, Virgil
And
Ortiz fight. Virgil
and the
Ortiz fight.
brother, I
He
think
stopped.
his name was Lawson or something like that, I think.
Yeah, yeah, the black dude. I'm thinking Barroso fight. I don't care for Tony Weeks in a Barroso second fight. That fight he just had, but I wasn't Tony Weeks.
Tony
Mm-hmm.
Weeks stopped the Virgil Ortiz fight though.
Right,
And
right, right,
Barroso was the co-main event on that card.
right. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you see that the interview that oh god dang gone what the official name is, the one that's just retired.
Kenny
Flo,
Bayless?
yeah, did you see that?
I seen bits and pieces.
Oh, okay then.
Why? What you talking about? This shit.
No, I was just listening. I know what your take was on the whole interview. If you saw it on a thing, he spoke on certain things, especially with the Tony Weeks situation.
I mean, that's the wrong person to talk on the Tony Weeks situation because we all know Kenny Bayless. Whenever he wants his eyes not to see something in front, he goddamn he'll get blind real quick now. Kenny Bayless will get blind on you real quick. I don't know what the hell he's talking about by Tony Weeks. He shouldn't say shit.
No, no, no. What he was saying, he was telling them that you know, what did he did say on it that the fighter's lives are in the official's hand. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And say that they have to make sometimes you have to make a split decision. You feel me to see whether the fighter taking too much punishment or what the situation is. And they spoke on the situation as far as by the brain aneurysm. He said he never seen anything like that or heard about they doing a test on the fighter for brain aneurysm before the fight and then letting them fight. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I
what he was
never
saying
heard of
about
that
that.
either. I never
I
heard of a
didn't.
fighter having to get a CAT scan done or something like that.
Right. Unless my take on it, unless it was something that was already there, they always spoke before the fight, so they tested and see whether he had it or not. Because normally, like you said, we don't know that. We ain't never seen that done before a fight. You feel me?
Well, they do test like
Mm-hmm.
depending on where you at, they do test potentially. They do scans because boxing you get hit in
Right.
the head. So I'm not saying it
Right.
don't happen. I'm not saying it
Right.
don't happen, but in this case, I wonder why was attention was given to this particular guy.
Right.
But
And
I'm not saying it don't happen. Scans like
right.
that do happen in boxing, though.
And for him to have three doctors, so something had to been wrong for him to go to three different doctors.
Yeah.
Two of
Well,
them say
it comes into play if he went to multiple doctors. That means he was getting
right.
second and third opinions.
Right. Then you have two said it was, and the third one say it's not. Then you let the fight happen. Man, that brings up there. I mean, you're taking a big chance on that.
Well, just look at it this way for the promotion. If that
Mm-hmm.
guy with a pretty much being diagnosed with an aneurysm went in there and died, well, it's a huge lawsuit. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's some paperwork in there and all this other shit, but it would have been a huge lawsuit now.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just
Shout out
like
to
Earl.
Anthony G. Let me read this
Go
comment
ahead.
right quick. He said either PBC is trying to box Bud in by giving Thurman Tszyu when they know Bud was trying to get him, or they are building up a big fight between Bud and the winner of Tszyu versus Thurman. I mean, I like that conclusion. You know what I'm saying? Um, that may be a possibility. Why? Because now finding out there's a non-title fight too. 10 rounds. This is gonna work in favor of Tszyu again. You know, this is absolutely gonna be a disadvantage for Thurman. You might say it's not because it's 10 rounds, but no. I mean, if you just coming back, you need more rounds. God damn it. You know, if you don't think you can be able to handle the engine of Tszyu, you're gonna need more rounds. If you're in a good fight, you're gonna need those 11 and 12th round to try to freaking win. But it ain't a championship fight. It's 10 rounds, and I feel that Thurman's gonna get stopped. I do. It's gonna be a TKO stoppage, man.
Let's go back to my man a comment he just made. What is going to benefit Keith if he beat him? He still don't have nothing to offer Bud, the big fight with Bud, because what? It's a not like you say, it's a non-title fight.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying?
non-title fight.
It's a non-title fight, so
mean the champion lose, but
right,
still be the champion.
right. So let's say Keith going in just so how he beat Tszyu. What do he have to offer Bud at 154 to fight him? He ain't got nothing. He's not fighting for no title.
No, Keith Thurman wouldn't offer Bud anything because
Right.
he won't be the champion.
No,
Bud is
right.
still if Tszyu lost, he still has a championship. So Bud still fighting Tszyu.
Right.
It's gonna give him, you know, it's gonna be a legacy fight once again for Crawford to go over there and fight Tszyu. Yeah, it wouldn't be pay-per-view savvy, you know what I'm saying? It would be pointless at that because Keith Thurman been out on a hiatus for 25 months, came back and beat you. I mean, Bud going in there, it'll just be for another championship, man. That's it. Pay-per-view will suck.
It will suck. So they're fighting in Vegas, or they doing it in Australia? That's right here.
I believe the fight, from my understanding, let me go back over here to the.
Oh no! It's in Vegas. I see it. I see you got it right on the screen, right in front of my face.
Yeah.
It's in Vegas. Monster to the body in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I put up, you know, different thumbnails for different fights. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It said March 30 battle in Las Vegas. Where in Las Vegas? Who knows, man?
It could be in the goddamn.
Who knows?
It could be at the YMCA.
Yeah, who knows, man?
Man,
Laura and Fundora are on it.
Okay,
You're talking about his sister, though. I think his sister, Fundora's sister, is on it, not Sebastian Fundora. I think his sister.
his sister fight?
Yeah, Sebastian Fundora has a sister that fights.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's Sebastian Fundora, but I may can be wrong, but I think his sister is the one that's on the fight. And her name,
Have you ever seen her fight?
Typing it. Huh?
Have you ever seen her fight?
What now?
Have you ever seen her sister fight?
Have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's okay. She can box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Gabrielle Fundora. That's her name. Gabrielle Fundora.
Okay.
That's her name. I mean, I look at his sister is she can fight. The depth of competition over there is okay, man. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. But let me see if it's already on her box rec. Yeah. Okay. So she's not the one that's on the March card. I knew she had a fight though, but she has a fight coming up against Christina Cruz for a 10-rounder. IBF. Okay. You know, the women don't go to 12 for a 10-rounder on the 27th, which is this weekend.
Okay, yeah, I see somebody put out there said that you got to fight this weekend.
Yep.
Okay, I got to check her out. I've never seen her fight. I'm gonna make sure I check this out.
Yeah, her alias is Sweet Poison. 21 years old, Southpaw.
Man. I don't know.
See how all this shit play out, man. Gabriel Fundora is on the Mongia versus Ryder card. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she. If it was any Fundora, I don't think Sebastian Fundora was on the March 30th card. Not from my understanding. I did know I seen Gabriel out there on the card, and it's this weekend, so it makes sense.
So
Appreciate that drop.
So we getting that tall Lincoln motherfucker on the 30th. That what Charlo
What?
call it. That what Charlo call it. That tall Lincoln motherfucker. Get it?
The what now?
I said we getting that tall Lincoln motherfucker on the 30th.
Oh, is he on the
Fundura.
card?
Fundura. He the one fighting on the 30th on March 30th, isn't it? That's gonna be him, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I haven't really been paying too much attention to this fight card. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Is he on the card?
No, I'm talking March 30th on the Tim Zudem card. Somebody put it that
That's
say,
what I'm saying.
oh yeah, somebody. I see somebody put that say.
Because look, a lot of them are not on BoxRec yet, okay? But
Oh, okay.
I just looked up Sebastian Fundora, and he is on that card. So let me go to the
Okay.
event and see if they. Okay, so you have the two fights we've been talking about, and shout
Right.
out to the chat.
Right.
I didn't see the chat, but I think you was about to say that somebody dropped it in the chat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But you got Erislandy Laura against
Mm-hmm.
Michael Zarafa, and you got
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Fundora against some dude, 23-1. Bahachuk. You know what I'm saying? Bahachuk, 23-1. Ukraine fighter. 23 wins, 23 knockouts, and his only loss was via stoppage back in March 2021 of Brandon Adams. You know, Brandon Adams is the one who fought Charlo
Right.
and shit. So, yeah, he stopped him in the 8th round.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
He
Well, that's
beat
four fight.
Nathaniel Gallimore. All that shit. Yeah, yeah, for real. That's 4 fights.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tszyu, Rolando Ramirez. It's not just like this super card that they was talking about. And then what happened to freaking Danny Garcia fighting Laura? I thought this was supposed to be Danny Garcia in there fighting Erislandy Laura, man, for the WBA middleweight
It
title.
sure was, wasn't it?
Shit, man, shit don't be adding up, man. I swear to God, these motherfuckers just be stringing motherfuckers along, dog. Like, I thought Danny Garcia was supposed to be in there with Laura.
Man, they ain't got nothing going on. They just got everything so twisted up. They don't know who fighting who.
Appreciate that, Toby. Yeah, you don't know who fighting. That's why you can't. You have a lot of people on here guessing and just be coming up with bullshit, and then something totally different out, you know? If Thurman beats Tszyu, which I doubt, then it would be Thurman versus Charlo. The BS continue. Thurman versus Charlo would be for whatever belt, the 2 belts. Charlo still had the WBC belt and
the
the
WBA.
WBA belt. You know, the IBF he vacated, and then WBO was stripped. So, and that'll put Thurman right back in his wheelhouse. You know, he was a WBC, WBA unified champion, 147. So, you know, if he want to, you know, fight Jermell Charlo, hey, it is what it is, man.
How you think that fight will play
I
out?
hope it's for a title fight, though.
Yeah.
What?
How you think if the two fight?
Keith
What's the
Thurman
fight?
and Jermell?
Yeah.
I'll be going for Keith Thurman all day long, man. Just because, you know, man.
Right.
Jermell Charlo, no. Especially the way he looked with Canelo, man. I'm going for Keith Thurman, dog. I want him to pull off and have the best freaking fight he ever had in his life, man. Real talk.
Or Keith to go fight that boy and pull it off. We'll never hit it. We can never shut Keith up though. You can never shut him up.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
We beat Kevin Sue. We ain't gonna be able to shut him up.
He said, I told y'all I came back off a 25 month layoff. Y'all doubted me, and I'm back. I gave you everything that one time was, is, and will be. And now I'm going in here and I beat Jermell Charlo. What more do you want? You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman be talking his shit, dog.
Man, listen here. We will have to listen to Keith for the next 10 years, boy.
Yeah, for real. I mean, hey, I like Keith Thurman talking this shit, though.
Yeah. Oh,
but
you
this
know.
right here is a tall task. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, it is. Well, I still think they're throwing Keith out there to the water, though. sacrifice lamb, man. Because Tim Tszyu wanted to make his American debut. That'd be the first time he fought over here, ain't it? Or the second time.
If it is, Keith Thurman would be the dude to basically, you know what I'm saying, be his dance partner. You know what I'm saying? Keith would be the guy because he's coming off a layoff, man.
Right.
That would be the guy. Real talk. That would be the guy, man. The matchmakers are on they shit with this one because this is some BS, man. But hey, it is what it is. Can't stop it.
We got a main event non-title on pay-per-view. And we got Rolly. Then we got Rolly. Then we got Rolly that coming up with the 12-rounder and the co-main event.
Mm-hmm. You know, Rolly fan base. Whew, he got one of the largest fan base in boxing. You definitely want that name on your co-main event. Come on, man.
He got a special need people.
I'm not laughing with him, okay? I don't want y'all to shut my channel down. I'm coughing.
Yeah, a whole bunch of yellow buses under that fight, boy.
I am under the weather. I am not laughing with him.
The whole parking lot be full of yellow buses people, boy. Rolling. Hold on for a minute. Excuse me. Hey, close my door for me, please. I'm on live. Sorry about that, WTF.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
You have to go there, man. You're going to have them doing a Dem 2 movement. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah.
You're going to be up here doing a Dem 2 movement.
Man, that going to be, boy, look at here. I'm going to have a cold Pepsi sit right here watching the goddamn press conference. And Rolling going to be talking shit.
I'm just wondering with Rolly though. Yeah, he can talk shit, but can he? Isak Cruz is not much of a shit talker though. But one thing he has is an engine, and I'm just wondering, you know, what game plan. You know, you seen Rolly get dropped in sparring. You seen him get dropped with Barroso. And goddamn, he has an engine, man. This is a 12-round championship fight, man. This is another one. Real talk. This is another. Both of these fights are super weird. But for the betting odds, it's crazy because Isak got an engine on him, man.
Right, but his last fight,
I don't see him. Yeah,
his last fight, I wasn't too impressed with him. With his last fight, though.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people weren't impressed with him, but guess what? You know that Giovanni fight, Rolly Romero is not Giovanni, bro.
Now, Rolly, you know, Rolly got that super power straight. He could crack a little bit too now.
Now, what you wanted to say, Rolly got that retarded strength, man. Come on now.
I tried not to go that way. He just did that. But he got a special age skill, boy. Hey, you see, he take that special age and break his ass up. Take it to that Superman strip, boy.
Yeah, man. Rolly also, you know, he got a background in judoka too.
Right.
This is judoka black belt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's gonna do anything because it didn't matter with Barroso that he had judoka in his wheelhouse, but with Giovanni Cabrera, yeah, he didn't look all that good, and that was July 23.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Rolly is a shit talker, man, because Rolly was giving the impression to people that he hadn't been in the gym and he wasn't really thinking about boxing. He didn't look fat or anything, but I'm saying he was giving the people impression that he wasn't thinking about boxing. All of a sudden, he has a championship fight coming up with Isak Cruz. And Isak, for him, this is the perfect opponent for him to become world champion.
Right.
This is the perfect time for him to become world champion.
They're making so bad. This is his first fight at 140, right?
Okay, check this out. It's good you mentioned that because I was like this, right? I said, okay, Devin Haney came off the belts at 135. Isak is a small small dude. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the gamble going to be if Esau Cruz beats freaking Rolly? He's the smallest champion up at 140. Is he going to
Right.
attempt to unify, or they're going to bring in somebody like Ryan Garcia, or is Devin
Tank.
Haney or Teofimo Lopez is going to fight Esau Cruz for
Nope.
unification?
They're gonna. I think they're gonna
Because
throw
either
Tank
way
in
it
there with
goes,
him.
ain't nobody gonna have Esau Cruz. What now?
Mm-hmm. They're gonna throw Tank.
You say
Tank gonna
what?
come up. That was Tank gonna get the rematch if Pitbull beat Rolly for the title. If they don't have a rematch clause in that fight, Tank gonna come to 140 and fight Pitbull for that belt.
I mean, what purpose is it gonna serve Tank if he's not going to unify 140? He's already had a WBA regular title at 140, right?
Right.
So him coming up here fighting a rematch with Esau Cruz, then are we potentially seeing a bigger fight? That's the only
That's the only thing.
sense that it make. If you know what I'm saying, if Tank gonna do what you just said, go there and fight Esau Cruz, you know, at 140, is he gonna keep the belt to potentially face Devin Haney and freaking Riyadh or Teofimo Lopez?
Mm-hmm. So that's
Because
what.
then it will be good. It will be good
Right.
now.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking
That shit,
that's the
two
thing,
champions, hell yeah.
and so that's the same thing I was thinking about when they talk about the Rolly and Ryan fight. That Neil's going to use that
Yeah.
as a rematch for Tank. You feel what I'm saying? To get Tank
Mm-hmm.
to come in and get that belt from out of Rolly and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Tank come up and get that belt. Well, like you say, Tank is not going to unify no titles with no one. You feel me? 'Cause he's not going to do nothing at all.
Yeah, if he's not gonna unify, I wouldn't understand the reasoning for him moving up to 140 and beating Esau Cruz up there. And Esau Cruz, he has to ask himself. They probably already told him if he beats Rolly, they probably gonna line him up for a nice little fight. But I don't think it. You never can freaking predict what boxing's gonna do. It's unpredictable as shit. But Devin Haney would be a bad matchup for Esau Cruz. Being just straight off the jab. Period. It'll be real bad.
Right.
Teofimo
Right.
would be bad for Esau Cruz, even though it'd be an entertaining fight with him loading up on all. He'd get beat up bad. Super El Matias, we ain't gonna go there. Super
We
El
ain't gonna go
Matias,
that. We
he'll
ain't gonna go that
demolish
route.
that motherfucker, man. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
what's in store for Esau Cruz if he win, bro. To be honest,
Just, just to have a title.
yeah, like you said, if Tank move up there and mixes it up, beat Esau Cruz, now we got some mega fights. Now we get a unification both ways. We go to WBC or the WBO if Tank
Yeah.
is up there.
Right. Let's see. Right now, I mean, shoot, just them four names by themselves. You feel what I'm saying? They would be that would be some hell of a matchup right there.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
if they
only got
fight each other, though.
right. I'm saying we only got three of them that got balls to fight one another. Cause the fourth
Yeah.
one ain't gonna fight no damn body. He gonna go back and act with two Ferraris again. He ain't gonna fight no goddamn
I
body.
don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. When it comes to Tank, I don't know what they next move. Like that's one thing tactically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is one fighter where you just can't put any predictions out there on where they're going, like who they gonna fight, which direction they're going. You can't do it with Tank.
Mm-hmm.
But he at a point right now where motherfuckers calling him out, and they want
Right.
to see him in there with the likes of a Tszyu or Devin Haney. They want to.
What you think about that statement Kevin Ford made about
Enlighten me, man. What statement?
uh that interview he had? He was saying that Tank couldn't knock out Shakur. That it would be a good fight for Tank. Because did you see the interview?
No, I didn't. You talking about when he got out, right?
Right, he just did an interview. They were talking when he
On
got out, and they
Rise,
were
right?
right.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't check it out.
Oh yeah, they're saying that it would be a good match. And some of the words he's saying, Devin Haney and Shakur is a bad match To me, that's what I took from it as a bad matchup for Tank. He tried to use it as far as say it as people want to see Tank knock somebody out, and Tank won't be able to knock out Shakur and Devon because of the foot movement, the way that they fight. You feel what I'm saying? That's
I
why I
don't know if
think
he'd
in
be
fight.
doing that to lure people in to talking about that fight using reverse psychology or something, or he's
Mm-hmm.
telling the truth. I never really heard Calvin Ford go against Tank Davis. He's been with him since he was a
Right.
youngin. So
Mm-hmm.
for him to say what Gervonta won't be able to do, it doesn't seem genuine to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because styles make fight. And one thing we know about both of those fighters is that they can box. But who
Right.
has more power? Tank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would say Tank has more power than De Los Santos. And you seen how Shakur Stevenson reacted to De Los Santos.
Right.
You know
Oh shoot! Excuse me, man. Diamond Dollar Page just died, man.
what? I thought he was
Yeah,
doing yoga and
I just got it on X.
what?
It just came up on my phone. Diamond Dollar Page, rest in peace, my dear brother.
Hold up, man. He was
It
doing
just hit,
yoga. He had his own yoga shit going on.
yeah, it just hit my
I'm.
Twitter. Hit me on X. Diamond
Let me
Dollar Page died.
see. Let's see. I'm trying to look for it over here. Fakinson. Let me type his name in right quick. Hmm. I wonder what happened. Let's see. That's the way. The family issue of respective privacies. My closest brother's gone. Harold Hogue was a warrior and one of the kind. Okay. I see him standing with his close friend Harold Hogue, aka Ice Train, because I seen him wrestle, but
Hmm.
let me see. They talking about Ice Train. I thought he was doing pretty good. Let me see. 1990 professional wrestling. Steve Austin died at 56. 56. Now I can only attribute that to some type of heart condition.
Right.
Because these dudes are dropping dead from freaking abusing stuff early on. I'm not saying that's a DDP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Hogue had passed away, calling him a warrior. Former professional wrestler Harold Hogue, who went by Ice Train. Okay, they're talking about his friend Harold Hogue.
Oh, see, I didn't.
You know
I
what I'm
didn't
saying?
read it. I just
Yeah.
pull it down and saying Diamond Dollar Page, rest in peace, my brother. But Ice Train must have died then.
Yeah, Ice Train died.
Okay, Ice Train died. See, I didn't read it. I just saw it hit. It gave a notification, and on mine it said Diamond Dollar Page and said rest in peace, my brother. So Ice
See,
Train
up
must have
here
okay.
starting rumors and shit, man. Up here
No,
starting
I
rumors.
didn't read. I just like I said, I just saw the headline. It's saying. I mean, it's a Diamond Dollar Page. Rest in peace, my brother. Then it got a diamond with DDP behind it. So
Just a
I didn't
PSA to the listeners. Diamond DDP
not,
is not passed
not
away,
say
okay?
okay. Ice Train died then. Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
Ice
read it.
Train passed.
Okay, I didn't read. I just saw the headline about what it said. Okay, got shoot.
I'm saying I just saw DDP over there
Right,
talking because he does yoga and shit, and
right.
it's pretty damn good. But he was just up there talking about some yoga stuff and all that. So for him to die would have been kind of shocking.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I said. I was like, God, hold on for a minute, cause I know he helped a lot of wrestlers who was on drugs, like
Yeah, yeah.
he got this program that he had like Scott
Mm-hmm.
Hall and all them boys like
Yeah.
that. That's what he'd do. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of threw me for a loop. I just saw it hit the top of the thing on it.
Scott
Mm-hmm.
Hall was a different guy. He was out there. That's why
Scott
I
Hall.
think Scott Hall passed already.
Yeah, he did. Scott Hall
Yeah.
did. He tried to help what it was, Hawk. Hawk was an
Yeah,
alcoholic,
Hawk
real bad
from
alcoholic.
the yeah,
League of the
I was
Doom,
watching them too.
the Road
Legion of
Warriors.
Doom, Road Warriors. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Them guys was back then. Peds was a thing to do, heavy.
Man, was
And
it?
the heart disease and being able to recover from those rigorous training schedule because them wrestlers be on the road like damn near what 3/4 of the year.
Yep.
That people don't understand that. That's why you see a lot of wrestlers marrying other wrestlers. It's just
Right.
like somewhat like the military and shit. A lot of military people marry women that they see on deployment or in the service in other countries or whatever. That's the same with wrestlers. They're gonna be
Right.
gone. This is their occupation, so they end up marrying within the organization.
Yeah, because you gone. Like I said, 3/4 of the year you gone.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
John Cena. John Cena said, "I ain't marrying Bella Twin. I don't give a damn what you want. I don't want to get married. God damn it, you ain't gonna force me to get married either."
Okay. She wanted a baby. John told her no. John said, I
Yeah,
ain't want a baby. John said, I
and
ain't want
she
a
and she
baby or
went and
nothing.
got with another dude that probably she wasn't in love with, and then end up popping a baby out with him. John
Yeah.
Cena said, "No, I'm not getting
Mm-hmm.
married, nor am I having kids, man."
Okay then. Until the day I don't think he got married yet, in it.
Nah, he ain't got married. John Cena standing on his shit. He said, "I want to get my movie career out there. I want to make as much money. I'm doing me, man. I ain't mad at him, bro.
I ain't mad at him either. Mm.
Freedom."
But WC, that makes you question. Let's go back to Tank. Do you find it suspicious he bought all that property one day and burned down the next day?
Hey, man. Hey, dog. I got people out there in Beatmore, man. I don't find it suspicious at all. Hell no, dog. I don't find it suspicious at all. You ain't gonna get me up here to snitching. Nope. Sure don't.
Only me would come up and ask a question like that. But
I'm
I
just
was like,
saying. Hey,
it was 24 hours that took a had that property, it all burned down.
yeah, man, they burned down the whole spot. But I think he had insurance on that shit and all that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, how long the building sat there? Nobody brought the building. They ain't did nothing to them. You buy 12 hours later, it burnt to the ground.
But you got people that don't want to see you, and some, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
that's
he
you.
did a good deed, but they got some people
Right.
out there that don't like him,
Yeah.
and and plus you have to look at it from my understanding. What I heard was there was homeless people that was living in them buildings too.
Okay. And so,
So they was trying to keep warm or something like that,
hmm
and they probably found out that they had to go, they had to leave and shit. You never know. It's just too many scenarios, man. Like
yeah, that's
if it
true.
was, yeah,
That's
transients
true.
in there setting fires and shit, yeah, they could have burned that motherfucker down.
Yeah. hmm That banged up. Yeah, man. But Tank need to come on, man, and fight somebody now. He been out now about a year, almost a year now, ain't it?
I mean, they say Frank Martin, all this Frank Martin shit. Frank Martin say he gonna go through the ceiling next. You think Frank Martin up next? I can't call it, bro.
I
I
don't
can't
think
call it.
so. I don't think they're gonna feed Frank the Tank right now. I
I can't
think
call it, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I
yeah,
can't call it.
that would damage Frank's career right now. If he just getting started out good and this ain't that, you gonna put him in there with Tank. He's not ready for Tank. I'd rather see him and Keyshawn Davis fight first. You
But
know.
look at it this way: there's a possibility if he fights the right fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you think about Hector Luis Garcia coming up from 130, smaller
Mm-hmm.
fighter against Tank. He went and he didn't come out for the ninth, but he made it to the eighth.
Mm-hmm.
He fought his style. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Esau Cruz who fought his style. If
Mm-hmm.
if if Frank Martin fights the right style with Javante Davis and keep his distance correctly and be defensively sound. I mean, I'm talking about you got to have your shit
Mm-hmm.
on your antennas up. You can't get caught lacking at all. He
Right.
may make it a distance. If he take his first loss going the distance, he good.
Right. Right. Right.
But then, as much as I want to say this, I will be on the other side where he get knocked out. It's not going to be a good look. And then I think about Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
I said Rolly, he got knocked out in the 6th round by Tank, and he automatically got thrown into a title fight at a higher division. Does
Yeah.
Errol Spence, Man Down Promotions, have that pull for Frank?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Um,
That's all I want to know, dog.
yeah, that's true. But I don't think Earl gonna put him in there with him. Not right now. But like I said, it would be better if he go ahead and get the other title.
Yeah, if he get that IBF, that IBF, and get some leverage. I mean, not the IBF, the WBO, get some leverage.
Right.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. That make it more interesting. But then again, who knows about Tank? I
I
don't know.
heard. I don't know if you heard. Let me cut you off, but I want to ask your input on this too. What do you think that? I don't know if you follow MMA or not, but Mike Tyson is supposed to be in negotiations to fight Fedor Emelianenko, the last emperor, in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? Later this year.
I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah.
Then I don't follow MMA like that.
I mean, I'm just saying he was
Right.
a former MMA champion, but
Right.
in Saudi, he said he's not entertaining YouTubers, but Fedor is a legend, Mike is a legend,
Right.
and in their respective combat sports, and for them to be in boxing, it'll be interesting, man.
They're gonna do a boxing match. They're not gonna do an
Yeah,
MMA fight.
yeah,
Oh,
it'll be
okay,
a
okay,
boxing match.
okay. Okay. Well, that'll put a bit. I think that'll be pretty decent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's supposed to be going down later on this year. They say.
Okay. See the way Mike was looking the other day. Well, Mike like he still got some pop to his end. He hitting that bag with him and Francis on. He'll show Francis how to dig in and get them body shots. But Mike still got some hand speed on him.
Yeah, Mike still got that hand speed, don't he? I mean, come on, man.
Hmm.
Mike still can put somebody to sleep. Real talk, man.
So what do you think about that Joshua and Francis fight? Who you got in that fight?
Joshua and Francis Ngannou. You know me and how I feel about Joshua. I'm going for Francis.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going for Francis, man.
I picked Francis too. I was telling them boys last night. I said, man, it all depends on Joshua. If Joshua, I want to see how he react. You know, he get popped real good by a lick from one of Francis, power shots. How he would react to it. You know.
I just looking at Francis, man. He worked in the salt mines for 10
Hmm.
years. I mean the sand mines or whatever. The sand
Hmm.
mines over there in his country for 10
Right.
years. So his mentality is different with the way and where he is now, being able to make this money and get the fame he's getting.
Hmm.
Joshua, Joshua is a guy that, if you was able to come up and you're a pretty boy and you were able to do what you got to do, cool. But I just felt that he was manufactured as a champion. Now, at this point in his career, he didn't look all that good to me against Otto Wallin. He was just in there as a body. But Francis
Hmm.
Ngannou coming off the Tyson Fury loss, I still, give him the edge to go in there and be better than Joshua. That's all.
I agree with you 100%. Well, Joshua being a manufacturer champion. I agree with you 100%. I've been saying that for years. I tell anybody, Frank Martin sold his belt to him. Joseph Parker sold his belt to him. You feel what I'm saying? I tell
Yes.
anybody that.
Yeah, Charles Martin went in there and
I,
dived.
yeah. I meant to say Charles Martin. I said Frank Martin. I meant to say Charles Martin.
I mean, Frank Martin, Charles Martin, all the same.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Hmm.
just waiting on Frank Martin to go in here and dive against freaking
Frank,
Javante.
right. I meant to say Charles Martin. Well, another question. Let's say if Wilder would have had beat Parker, right, back in December.
Yeah.
You think him and Joshua would have had a sign fight just quick?
I don't think so. Because I was telling people, even if Deontay Wilder would have won, I don't think Joshua would have fought him.
I don't think so neither.
I don't think Joshua would have fought him because Joshua, Deontay, regardless of how unorthodox he looked, he's a bad matchup for Joshua
Right.
because you got somebody in there that's willing to get funky, and Joshua want to just make it at his own pace, at his own distance, and we just want it to be perfect for him. I'm not saying he don't have a resume. Joshua got some names on his resume, but
Mm-hmm.
Deontay is just awkward.
Right.
So, and Joshua just have this like demeanor when it comes to Wilder. Like he don't like the dude for some reason. I don't know, man. Like he don't
He,
like Wilder, bro.
he got that fear. I think he's afraid of Wilder. He's afraid what Wilder would do to him. Especially if Wilder would have won that, and like we all expected him to do, if we'd expected him to go there and knock Joseph Parker out, we would have never. Like I said, we would have never even got that fight. I don't give a damn how much money the folks would have put up on there. We wouldn't have got that fight at all.
No, I don't think Joshua then would have signed Eddie Hearns and talk all the shit he want, but he wouldn't have signed that Wilder Joshua fight. Um, this whole bracket system, so to speak, with what's upcoming in Riyadh with Joshua and Ganu.
Mm,
I hope Ngannou win because you have the momentum of him coming off the Tyson Fury fight, and I hope
right.
Tyson Fury win. If Anthony Joshua was to win and Alexander Usyk, I just don't think people want to see that a third time.
Nah.
I don't think so because Usyk beat him twice already.
Mm-hmm.
So the trilogy is over. For Tyson
Right.
Fury, people kind of curious to know what Francis Ngannou would do if the rematch happens.
Right.
You know, that would draw huge freaking attendance.
Will it?
If he can beat
Man.
Joshua and go in there and fight Tyson Fury again, oh shit.
I don't think Tyson will fight him again.
I think he would. For the right paycheck, I think he
Yeah.
would. I think
Yeah.
he would, man.
I mean, Francis Ngannou, that's a big old joker for her.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou ain't no joke, man. That dude like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah. And see, that thing with him, Fury ain't never fought nobody that's just as big as him. Everybody that Fury fought, Fury
But he has a
outweighed
good,
him.
strong base to him too.
Right.
Like Deontay's base is not fit for Tyson Fury's. Like
Mm-mm.
Francis Ngannou got some logs on him from freaking digging out them sand mines and shit, man.
Yeah,
You know, he
yeah.
got them strong legs and a base. Deontay, no,
Right.
he don't.
Mm-hmm. Man, when Fury threw that elbow and hit that man that elbow, he just looked at Fury like, man, that's all you got? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
He probably say, goddamn, you didn't even do it correctly. Francis probably telling Tyson, man, you didn't throw it correctly. Come on, man.
Right. You
You
know,
didn't even throw it correctly, man.
and then I was listening to Joker tell her, Josh going to go in there and knock him out. Fury hit this man with a straight elbow.
Straight elbow, man.
It ain't even, the man just ate it like he didn't even strangle him.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So y'all really think Josh going to go in there and knock this man out?
No, I mean, it's a lot of hope in the world. Real talk.
Yeah.
Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, OG, what's good, man? Cooking with Surf Senior on deck. What's good? SB90 on deck. Salute to y'all, man. Yeah, he threw that elbow, man. It hit him. It didn't hit him, with a significant amount of power, but it did hit him flush on the left side. So yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, he just looked at him. It's like, man, whatever.
Like, man, that's all you got, man. Come on, man. I know you can do it better than that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For
I got
sure.
Fury beating Usyk.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
want Fury to beat Usyk. I think his boxing IQ is higher than Usyk.
Right.
I really do. But people are always gonna say, well, Usyk, he's a pretty good boxer. But then they're gonna weigh that did he really get knocked down by Daniel Dubois?
He, he, he got
You
knocked
know.
out. That fight, man, that wasn't on a low blow.
Yeah,
He
he was
got
up there
knocked.
trying to explain and shit to Daniel Dubois. Hey, man, you hit me in the cup. Man. Hey, it looked
That
like he
wasn't a
hit you with a good body shot, dog.
good body shot. Matter of fact, if you go back, that third for AJ hurt him with a body shot. AJ hurt that Joker with a body shot. He just didn't go in and finish him off.
Mm.
Mhm.
I think Dubois took so much heat because just a round after that, he just
He
quit.
fell. He just quit. I guess I look at it. He like, man, they don't rob me. I ain't no way
Yeah,
I'm gonna win the fight. The hell
yeah,
with it. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just
I'm
go ahead on it.
tired.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't. I really am the champion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so they don't rob me from it. So the
Yeah.
hell with it. And then since we going on and finish the fight, I get my paycheck. I'll put up a good fight, get my paycheck, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Get a
know,
paycheck and keep it stepping. But he did get some redemption with freaking Jarrell Miller
woo,
though.
boy, Big Baby did he? I mean, he beat the job out of Big Baby. Big Baby took some punishment now.
He did, man. I gotta give it up to Big Baby for not quitting and surrendering. Like he took some punishment, man. But
Yeah, finish
I,
it.
I said, okay, he putting pressure on him, and the boy looked like he getting tired. But then I saw Big Baby getting tired. I said, oh my God, they cancel each other out, dog.
Cause that's the first time Big Baby had fought in a minute, though, isn't it? That's his first fight.
Yeah,
In
that's the first time he ain't been in the ring in a minute, and he had all that weight on him. He came in like 333. Oh my God.
that joker was, he was a real Big Baby that day.
Look, I seen Big Baby in person. The
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker is big. Like he
Mm-hmm.
like he is a big dude, man. He's not like I know he's a little bit taller than me. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
he's I'm like at 6'3". He's like at 6'4" or something like that. He's a
Right.
big dude, man, to carry all that weight around. You know what I'm saying? But for him to go over there and try to pressure the boy,
Nah.
and he got tired, and the boy ended up catching his second win,
Yeah.
bust his ass up, bro.
Happy bust his ass up. But he took some. He took some. He got a good chin though. He was taking.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah,
He took some punishment.
yeah, he did. He took some punishment, but is Dubois really a a a, um, a heavy hitter though? I mean, who is he proving that he's a heavy hitter against? So he has decent power,
Right.
depending on what the style is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? He couldn't really do like okay, he landed the punch against Usyk, but any other situations besides that in that fight, no.
No.
Joe Joyce, he didn't do shit.
No.
The other dude he beat. I mean, hey,
Yeah, 'cause Joe George stopped him, didn't
yeah, he stopped him with a jab. Really,
he?
like
Yeah.
his eye was fucked up.
Fucked up. Yeah. So, what do you
It was
think the
it was
status
it
of?
was it was amusing. I ain't gonna lie, it was amusing.
Hmm. So, what do you think the status of me, our boy Wilder, man? What you think with him right now?
Well, the fact that he didn't take the fight, I'm not tripping on that because Zhang would have been a tough fight for Wilder.
Hmm.
I mean, I know people talking about him being at peace. They act like that's a
Hmm.
bad thing. Look, OG. Hey, how the fuck you could be mad at Wilder when he had the damn, he had the killer spirit and instinct, and he was talking this shit. Y'all despised him. Now the
Right.
man is speaking and saying, I'm in a good place. It's full of peace and love and happiness. Now they don't
Hmm.
like him again. Like, come on, man. Y'all don't give a fuck, dog.
That's the same thing with Bud, man. Either way, whatever they do, they're not gonna like him. Whatever they do, they're not gonna like him. I
They don't
mean,
like any of it, dog.
heck no. While you got to think about it. You know, just like Bud said, I'm not gonna go ahead and be a monkey for y'all and act ignorant. I had to sell a fight.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? See, that's what
yeah.
a lot of see that's what people want to see you act like a jackass and just had to draw attention to yourself. You don't have to do that. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
what? Yeah, I agree. Wilder, him and Fury won
Mm-hmm.
was freaking. They was jabbing each other back and forth.
Right.
I'm talking about verbal sparring going on all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot to deal with. You know, and then um, after the rematch, Wilder he had totally changed up. Like he didn't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he felt that he had been cheated. He felt like,
Right.
Fury cheated during the fight, and the fans um, didn't fuck with him. So
Right.
he said, you know what? I ain't giving y'all shit, man. Y'all talk about me. I was giving y'all bomb squad. I was going in here knocking these motherfuckers out. And then when I run into some adversity, y'all want to talk shit about me. So he came back. He just had Malik Scott talking for him. That's a phase. That's human shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's human emotions right there. Like you trying to do so much for your people, and then they don't appreciate it. So you get to a point like, okay, I lost my belt, but yet I'm going in here for this trilogy.
Right. And then he fought for it. I mean, he fought to get that rematch. He told him to go to court because Freddie
Yeah,
wasn't gonna fight him.
yeah,
Freddie
yeah.
wasn't
He
gonna
went in
fight him.
arbitration and shit.
Yeah,
Talking
Freddie wasn't gonna
about
fight him. And see,
talking about the.
the thing I hate about that situation, that was the first American heavyweight champion we had in ages. You feel
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And the disrespect that he received from our
Yep.
American people, they didn't get behind him. They'd rather get
Correct.
behind AJ
Correct.
than to push it on American heavyweight. Even the former champions,
Absolutely.
they didn't get behind Wilder. George Foreman and
Absolutely.
none of the boy Mike Tyson, they didn't get behind Wilder. You feel what I'm saying? That's something they should have had did. Okay, the man got limited. Look at what he done with the little bit of skills that he had. They should have got and pushed this man and backed this man up. The first
Yeah.
thing George Foreman said when Joshua got knocked out, he'll go train Joshua for the rematch. Come on, man. Y'all should have got behind the American champion.
I don't know why they would do that. George Foreman of all people, because he had one of the most ugliest styles. You know,
Right.
he was having, this power punching, and he was considered like one dimensional. That's why he
Right.
got beat by freaking Muhammad Ali. But
Thank you.
but for them, like you said, not to get behind Wilder, a person who ain't pop dirty, didn't have no alcohol related incidents. You know what I'm saying? It was just a unique dynamic. You can't come up with a reasonable answer as to why they didn't fuck with him or distant the way they did. Like the man going in there knocking people out, and they say he looked like a basketball player. Is that punishment? Should he be punished by that? Like George Foreman, you did not look like a polished boxer when you was in there swinging them heavy motherfucking hands trying to knock motherfuckers out.
That's all,
You
like I
know?
said, he didn't have George. George was a better of a boxer in his comeback than when it was when he first came out.
Yeah. Look at this defense. Who does the
Yeah,
George Foreman freaking defense? You know what I'm
man.
saying? I know Deontay looks a little bit funny with the way he avoid punches, but George did too.
George came up with that high guard at the hand, I said, and walking up to
Yeah.
you like that. Yeah. I mean, come on, George. Like I said, George didn't have no fundamental skills. He was
Nah.
going there slugging it out.
Yeah, he was a strong mofo, can punch, and was a heavy hitter too. But you take a smart fighter that gave you the rope a dope and tired your ass out.
Thank you.
And this a good point for those who listening. And I'm glad you brought this up. George Foreman left the sport because he lost.
Thank you. And,
You
and,
know,
and how many years he stayed out?
he stayed out for a full dime, 10.
10 whole years. Because he couldn't accept the fact he got beat.
To beat the way he did, got outsmarted by the more clever, slick fighter. You know what I'm saying? Ran out of gas trying to knock this cat out, man.
He couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that picture with Ali standing over him, I bet it goddamn hunt the shit out of Foreman.
And then he could never get the rematch back with Ali.
Ali wasn't stupid. Ali wasn't stupid
Ali,
at the time. Shit.
uh, Ali, like I said, it's got to be a smart fighter, you know. Like I say, and even with Deontay, that last fight he fought Fury, he should have never came in with all that weight on him.
But at least the way Deontay Wilder lost, he lost on his feet to set up the
Right,
rematch. And
right.
they threw in the towel. Mark Breeden threw in the towel. Okay, he lost
Hmm.
his title, but yet he was taking punishment in that fight. But he didn't stay out a long duration after
Hmm.
that February loss.
Hmm.
But him coming in there at 230 plus, it just comes down to like I don't know what the plan was for
I
the
think
weight.
I think he came in there bulked up like that to try to handle Fury weight, and that was a downfall to him.
But didn't he come in at 230 plus in the rematch?
The third fight, the second
The
fight, he didn't
third
come out that
fight.
big. The third fight, Wilder had on put on so much muscle mass, man. He came in big as hell. His upper body was big as hell.
I thought he had trimmed back down a little bit.
No, that third fight, Wilder came in big as hell. I mean, his he bulked up real big. Because he did. See, he didn't. The reason why in the second fight he didn't come like that because he didn't expect for Fury to lean on him the way that he did. And that second fight, see, Fury leaned all over him that second fight and wore him down. And so he figured he coming in a third fight big as hell to be able to handle Fury weight,
Yep.
and that
Yep.
played against him also, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
Mhm.
True. Yeah, they did have weight fluctuations. I know. At one point in time, okay, with the weight, people were saying that it was a suit. You go back and forth with all these damn
Right,
stories. So they say it was a suit in the rematch. And,
right,
Wilder say the suit felt heavy. And then he
right.
came in the third fight, a little bit more weight. He did go further distance now. He went into the 11th
He went into the 11th round.
in the trilogy. He went further than he did the rematch.
Yeah, yeah. The rematch, what? Bob went through the title in what? The ninth, 10th round?
What? The rematch, he got stopped in the 7th.
After the seventh round, he threw the towel in. Oh, okay,
Uh huh.
okay. I thought it went a little longer than that.
It was the 7th, man.
Mhm. Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure I'll double check right now, but I'm pretty sure it was the freaking 7th round. Wilder lost to in the rematch
Fury.
to Fury.
Yeah. And I seen,
Yeah, it was the 7th round. Yep.
around. Okay, I seen Wilder take some punishment even before when he fought Ortiz that first fight. He took some
Oh
punishment,
yeah,
man.
yeah. He took some punishment for 42 seconds, man. Ortiz was blasting on his ass, and
And
he
couldn't get
showed me, man. Wilder said, man, Wilder the way he looked, man, he got a underrated chin, bro.
right,
For him to take punishment from a Cuban like Ortiz, who was considered one of the most dangerous heavyweights out at that time, a southpaw fighter, man, he touched Wilder and buzzed him, and Wilder stayed on his feet too.
man. 'Cause I was like, man, Wilder. I was like, oh wow, Wilder gone. And then he came and got the next round. He recuperated pretty good the next round.
Yeah, look, Wilder is a gladiator in his own way because what determines a gladiator? The way you take the way you delegate punishment, but the way you
Hmm.
take it too. Joseph
Right.
Parker hit Wilder, dog, and Wilder still staying on his feet after the
Yes.
trilogies, bro. Look,
Yes.
after the trilogies, man. He went through the rematch and he was taking punishment. He went through the to the third
Trilogy.
fight and got stopped.
Right.
But Parker hit him. He still didn't go down.
Heck no.
Man, that dude, man, he's an awkward gladiator, man. Like Wilder has an underrated chin, man. And just because Fury was the one who dropped him, that's nothing to freaking sit up here and criticize the man for, because that's Fury.
Right.
But Joseph Parker, that man landed a nice one on freaking Wilder. And he still didn't get the canvas. Still
Hell
didn't hit the
no.
canvas, dog.
Like I tell Jokers, you know, the thing with me with Wilder got the basic skills, but he fell in love with knocking out everybody. And believe it or not, the heavyweight division is dead without him. I believe because there's no excitement.
Yeah, I said that, man. I said, y'all wanted the man, y'all criticized the shit out of him, and now he ain't around. Y'all forget there's no heavyweight champion available. You know what I'm saying? You waiting for Jared Anderson to come up here. He still got a ways before he messed with this competition that got the belts. But just the criticism and the way they freaking scrutinize the shit out of Wilder. Now
Hmm.
he's out of the picture. It ain't nobody up here giving you the entertainment. Nothing
Thank you.
like that. Um, we about to get a fight 17th of February, undisputed, no American. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
No
you.
American in that motherfucker.
And not only that, a lot of people when they tune in to watch Wilder fight, they can't see what round Wilder gonna knock a motherfucker out.
Yeah.
That's it.
I ain't
I
gonna
mean,
lie, in that last fight, he just looked slow with the 1-2. Usually, the one
right.
two that he gonna try to land his power punch, his timing was off, and Joseph
Yep,
Parker had prepared for him perfectly.
he did. He did. And now, he got to go back and regroup and say he had to go back to that. I didn't like that movement. He looked funny to me the way he was moving. Like I said, with the 1-2 jab and this, he looked kind of funny. He looked off. He looked off with me real bad on that.
Yeah, he looked off. I mean, the whole that shit looked awkward. Real talk, it looked awkward. Real. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm saying to myself, ugh, what's going on? Like,
Man, that's what
why is
man.
he why
You
is he trying to box off the back foot? That's not what you do. That ain't your
mhm.
style. You know what I'm saying? When is he? I mean, I thought he boxed better with Fury fight than he did with Joseph
He
Parker.
did. He did. He did. All the stuff that he did there, man. Come on, man. But we all learn. You feel what I'm saying? Learn from our mistake. Well, Anthony Johnson, a lot of people criticized Wilder because of what they say after the fight. Joshua, they were celebrating that he lost.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to accept that and believe it, but they were celebrating that Wilder lost. That way, they ain't got to fight him because the Sheik had on said it. Shit, nigga, this is what I want, and we're gonna get this. If Wilder they both win, this is the fight I'm gonna pay the hell. And like you said, Joshua just got that fear of Wilder. I really believe he do. He got that fear of Wilder.
Yeah. I'm kind of I always call Joshua overrated. It's just something about that dude. Like, why do you have so much disdain for Wilder, man? Y'all haven't even stepped in the ring. Y'all haven't even shared the square. Why do you have so much disdain for him? I mean, it makes no sense, man. Like, y'all both Olympians. What you
Yeah,
mad at? Like,
but
damn, y'all both former world champions. Like, what are you mad at so much? You can't fight him.
mhm. What? Let's see. Wilder had the belt before Joshua did. Wasn't Joshua ranked in the division to fight Wilder? And that's when he moved out and went he left out the rankings and went and fought Klitschko, right?
Eddie Hearns had a direct route that Joshua was gonna go.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And that was the first of all, scoop up a chip, and that's when they paid Charles Martin the biggest
right.
paycheck he ever got.
What 5 million,
And
wasn't it?
then, yeah, it was something like that. It was enough for Charles Martin. He ain't seen that type of money.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the way he got the belt anyway would have told you. He got it off of injury. Glasscoff got injured.
That's the fight my man broke his ankle or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it was his knee fucked
His
up his
knee.
knee. So
I thought it was something. That's when he got the title, and he went over
yeah,
there and he laid his ass down.
laid his ass down, and then he went out. They went out into the mountains with motherfucking beagles and bloodhounds searching for Vlad, who was on retirement. They saw the smoke coming out the chimney and shit. Hey, Klitschko, hi. What you
Okay.
up to, buddy? Went in there and had some soup, and got down. And they said, we want to talk to you about this, we want to give you a good offer. You won't refuse it. I mean, it's very good. You know what I'm saying? We want you to come back and fight Joshua at Wembley Stadium.
This is
Coming
what
out
you
of
can get.
retirement now.
That's the kind of money we'll get. And then he down there knocked Joshua ass out.
Yeah, he did. And that's what they had to tell him. They said, listen, hold up, Klitschko. Vladimir, we brought you back because we trying to build up a champion. Son, you haven't fought nobody since Fury. Why are you in here
Hmm.
trying to act like you about to go on another title run? You supposed to come in here, fight the fight, and then freaking Joshua wins. But they had to say, hey, ref, whenever you get the opportunity, stop this motherfucker because Joshua gonna get knocked out, man.
Hell yeah.
So they stopped that shit in the 11th, and that just exposed Joshua even more because
Then, then everybody else he fought, it was like shoot. And when he ran up against somebody, the the Hershey Kisses, man, and it just took his heart. He took Joshua's heart. Ain't had nothing to do with you coming over here to America, this and that.
What you talking about? The Hershey's Kiss? That motherfucker was dealing with goddamn Snicker
I got
bars, dog.
this a job
Snicker
calling me.
bars, caramel and nougat and nuts. That man wasn't dealing with no Hershey's Kisses, dog.
Hello?
You there?
Yeah. My job calling me, so I'm about to go. I get up with you
Okay.
later.
All right,
All
for
right.
sure, man.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Shout out to MD Mills on deck. I see you, man. Dub 100 on deck. Salute to you. They said Keith called the WBA the WB no. They ain't forget about that. Hey, you never know, man. Like, hey, Keith Thurman don't have a lot of room to finesse anybody. Like, he been out the ring for a while. Shout out to the Queen Jessica on deck. I see you. And they said they building that Bud fight, and like I said, it's a win-win for PBC to build Bud. A big fight later in this year. PBC don't want to pay the Spence and Bud too. It's not going to sell. Well, if it's on the contract, we don't know what the wording is. But and we already know it's in the contract, but I'm just saying generally, if Crawford Spence is in the contract, what point does it has to meet? What point when it comes to the time out of the ring? What is the timeline for that to become none and void? You know what I'm saying? When does it come to that point? How many months does it become none and void to say we can move in? Or it's something that's going on with the PBC that it's when they say, okay, we're not going to put on you and Spence. We're going to put on you and Tszyu or something like that, because nobody's really going into that freaking fight and saying that Tszyu is going to lose his O to Keith Thurman, because just the mere fact that it's a non-title fight now, you know what I'm saying? It's a non-title fight. It's a 10-rounder. Keith is losing. It's just all about if it's going the distance or it's going to get stopped, period. And like they said in the chat, they building up a Crawford fight. So are we going to get a Crawford Spence too? Or are they going to come up and say, well, Spence eyes healed up, we're going to put on the fight? Because what y'all talking about is like, it won't sell. Well, come on, listen to what you're saying now. This fight has already happened. So when you look at what's going on March 30th on pay-per-view, you trying to tell me they can't put on the Spence Crawford fight? You absolutely they can put it on. They don't have heavy hitters like that for 12 to 14 fights in a calendar year to put on heavy pay-per-view fights. They just don't have the roster. They don't have it, y'all. So when it comes down to Spence Crawford 2, are y'all not looking at Tszyu Thurman? That's going to be a non-title fight in the main event on pay-per-view, y'all. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, Crawford, he can't. He was the IBF was stolen from him. He still got 3 belts now. You know what I'm saying? So, if by chance he moves up to 154 or whatever they're gonna try to maneuver, it's gonna come a time where it can't be too long. Like, yeah, he's 147 pounds, but it can't be too long. He's just sitting on the belts without fighting nobody. It can't be too long, because in this particular scenario, undisputed is not going to be the disclaimer, because he's been adamant he's not going to fight Boots for the IBF. Now you have to look at him moving up to 154, and like you said, them building up a fight, the WBO making it a non-title fight, which presumably Tszyu will still be the WBO champion after he wins, you know, because I don't see him losing against freaking Thurman. And him and Crawford near the end of the year, if him and Spence don't fight. You know, that's the way I look at it, bro. You know? I'm surprised Keith is actually going to fight. No, don't be surprised, man. Keith, in my opinion, was a company dude. just like Danny Garcia. I think, PBC need to, I mean, not PBC. People need to stop looking at PBC as a disciplinary. They have a new network that they have to put on fights. The PBC ain't trying to go up here and talk about, oh, so-and-so ain't gonna fight. We're gonna put them on punishment. Man, this is not preschool, bro. This is the elite. This is the hierarchy. They have to put on some fights. They can't sit up here and be blackballing. Like, I'm curious to know will the Russell brothers finally get their shine now. Are they gonna be on a card? Shit. Free the Russell brothers, man. God damn. They at first said the fight had to take place in December. Yeah, I understand that. But look, when it comes down to it, just look at it in this way. You think that those individuals didn't know everything that was going on once Spence left the ring? Like, you think they didn't have a conversation about will he step back in the ring by the end of the year in 2023 and basically activate his rematch clause? I'm talking about actively stepping in the ring by December. No, he activated the rematch clause. And like I said before, the man said he had a pre-existing cataract situation. Did anybody over there know that? If that is indeed true, somebody had to know it. Because it's not like months and months is passing by and he didn't tell somebody, oh, I got cataracts. No, it wasn't no cataracts. It's the fact that they just wasn't trying to pay for that fight. Showtime probably said, fuck you, I'm out. I ain't paying for the shit. Y'all said he was going to go in there and win. And he didn't. Now, guess what? I'm feeling some type of way. That's the way I'm feeling. Real talk. My thing is, why wasn't the date already set up since it was due for December? Hey, that's a good question. That's a good question. But you have to understand that C word there, Jessica, contingency. You know what I'm saying? Listen, they put in the contract that the fight had it had to happen by the end of the year because Showtime was dissolving their freaking matrimony with PBC. So the financiers was out the door. The only people that could have financed this fight, for the money they got was Showtime. Due to what happened the 29th and the DNA that was freaking displayed all over the camera lens from T-Mobile Arena, I'm pretty sure some people at Showtime said, I don't know if I want to pay for that fight again. It's pointless. He got his ass kicked. I don't know. Why should we want to pay for that again? Or it could have been due to the medical conditions of Errol Spence. He could have took too much damage. He could have took too much damage, man. But I still stand on what I said. Why activate your rematch clause if you thought or knew that you had a pre-existing cataract situation? That's fucked up. Because we're up here waiting, and all along you had no intentions of goddamn getting back in the ring because you, in your head, you're telling people what? He's telling people this, y'all. Why do you think I got hit with so many jabs and hooks? Still great performance by bro. That's bullshit. That's an excuse, bro. I ain't never heard of an indefinite rematch window. It's definitely not indefinite. But it definitely would have some contingency in there. That contingency, whoever, I don't know. I don't know what the contingency is. But people were saying that, okay, Crawford has the gateway via the WBO. Why he just didn't call up the WBO? I'm looking at the roadblocks of the contractual roadblocks that Crawford may impede him from making that phone call. If he's locked in with Spence, he's locked in with Spence. Real talk. He was able to elude that in 22, but being he's locked in for a rematch based off the 29th fight, he can't just go and do what he want to do. He ain't trying to be in court with these cats. And plus, he got paid a good amount of money from that 29th fight, he's good. He's good. Come on now. He's good, bro. He's good. But I've been on here for 2.5 hours. God damn. But man, I gotta goddamn jump out the hatch and pull the chute, man. I gotta get up out of here. Until next time. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. We should do it again. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.